Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're kind of delving into the plight, if you will, of the retired foreigner here in Thailand. I thought initially of making this video after reading a recent article from the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. Article is titled, Pattaya Retirees Well Within Their Rights, Weigh Options as Inflation Bites and Prices Climb. And I urge those who are watching this video, go check out that article. It's kind of a downer, really. You know, it's talking about how the retirees in Pattaya, you know, things are they're not having the best of times. I just recently did a video on the issue of driving licenses are now made, for whatever reason, more difficult it looks like. I've had other people send me emails saying, no, it's not like that. You know, whatever. We're looking at a situation where it's looking like it's getting more difficult. How this plays out remains to be seen. I'll keep updating folks if the driving license situation changes. Happy to see further information on that. That said, I thought of making it, again, this is from pattayamail.com, quote, critics argue that the stereotype of the quote-unquote retired foreigner in Pattaya, disillusioned, broke, and clinging to outdated dreams, isn't entirely off the mark. It's a harsh assessment, but not one without merit. Others counter that such portrayals ignore the emotional and social reasons people stay. They might not be wealthy, but they found a life that suits them, even if it's far from perfect. Well, if you read through that, I mean, I don't really think it's good for anybody that we all get into a big pity party sort of regarding how this is all sort of going. At the moment, let's be honest, we're in a very fluid circumstance with regard to the government here in Thailand. We've got this acting prime minister, you know, it's pretty much, presumably he's not going to be there once we get some kind of adjudication on the currently suspended prime minister, which not going into all that, but that's weighing down on things. You know, also just generally the world economy is not doing well. One thing I've been noticing a lot is people have been talking about, oh, we need Chinese tourists. Well, they're not having an easy time in their economy. Somebody was telling me the other day there were 120 million bankruptcies in China, which at first glance you'd say, well, that sounds like an awful lot. Maybe that's an unreal number. Well, you know, their total population is 1 billion. So, you know, it's 12% of the total. And if they're truly in a serious, significant recession / mild depression or something, you know, 120, you know, 10% of the population being bankrupt wouldn't be that far out of kilter with what something like that would look like. So I'm not sure that the Chinese are some kind of magic bullet to save all tourism in Thailand. I don't think that's particularly correct. Meanwhile, you know, look, at the end of the day, we're also seeing some stagnancy overall in the sort of global economy. You know, the other thing is, look, by any metric, Southeast Asian economics, the economies here are rising. Thailand, if anything, is doing better. Now, I think, you know, we're seeing some slowdown in Thailand that could then be reflected in the currency shortly, which could have a, you know, an indirectly beneficial impact on retirees as their foreign currency could become again stronger against the baht. So maybe stay tuned for that. For those who are interested, I do get into these topics in more detail in our long form videos that I have on our paid news service, Integrity News Service. For those who are interested in that, you may want to check us out. Email us, media@integrity-legal.com to get on the mailing list for those long form videos. I expect in this upcoming one we'll be doing this Sunday, I'll have a lot to talk about with all the developments along the Thai-Cambodian border and everything associated with that and how that's going to impact expat world, retiree world here as well. So we'll jump into that in the paid news service. While I'm talking my book, it's also worth pointing out my better half and I opened a restaurant here in downtown Bangkok, Pancake Palace. As the name implies, breakfast anytime, including pancakes. We also have big English breakfast, and we also have American diner style food, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, Polish sausage. We've also got buffalo wings, chili bowls, pork chops. If you're interested, glass bottle Coke as well. If you're interested, links in the description below to get to Pancake Palace. Come on out if you're interested in some American diner style food. Rounding this up though, yeah, look, I really don't think getting into just wallowing in pity about how terrible it is as a retiree here is really that good of an idea. One, I don't think it's warranted. You know, at the end of the day, Thailand is still a beautiful country. It's still a great place to retire. Yeah, some may be feeling the pinch, especially on fixed incomes, especially in foreign denominated currencies. But as I said, I think as we start to see some shifts economically here in Thailand, those things may even out for retirees, if not begin to move in a more positive direction, especially as it pertains to their or the purchasing power of their foreign currency here in the Kingdom of Thailand.